Welcome to the Home and Garden Show. I'm your host, Wally Conway. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. We'll be talking about renovation contracting. We'll be talking about antiques and so many other great things to help you visualize the wonderful things you can do in your home and meet some great people who can do them for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome to the show. You know, very often we're upgrading in our homes, and one of the greatest upgrades you can make, it's durable, it's beautiful, is new flooring. Thankfully, we've got Chris Harrington with us today from Pro Tile and Marble. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wally.
Well, I'm going to be selfish on the show this morning, and that is this. I have a 15-year-old townhome, has all original flooring in it. It was build-a-grade townhome. And so it's predominantly carpet and then vinyl in the wet areas in the kitchen and baths. 15 years, tenants now gone. It's time to do it all. Give me some guidance for durability and affordability, not just for a rental, but for that person that says, I want it to look right, but I don't want to break the bank. What should I be thinking?
Yeah, so while we always recommend vinyl flooring, especially a floating floor, especially in a rental home where you have lots of traffic, less chance for maintenance throughout the years. It's resistant to moisture, water, food damage, and it's affordable. It's a lot less. It's generally $2 to $3 less per foot than tile installed as far as labor and material, and you can hardly damage the stuff. I mean, it's very durable. I'm
committed to being rid of carpet. I think carpet is the devil. Don't like carpet at all. Not considering it. But I got to tell you, the home's now 15 years old. And when I look at vinyl from 15 years ago, it was sheet vinyl. It looked linoleum, being an old-time trade name. It's hideous.
Right.
How have those products emerged, and how will I be happy with a modern-day vinyl floor?
So it's not our grandmother's vinyl anymore from the 60s for sure. So it's emerged really into a plank formation. That's the way all vinyl is. And you have the glue down, and you also have click plank, which is floating. You know, as far as the design of the vinyl plank, I mean, they're making this stuff look just like wood. I mean, you put it in and it looks like a wood floor. As long as the floor is in good condition, it might require some leveling, and customers need to keep that in mind. But once you put it in, it's beautiful. It's immaculate as long as the prep work's done appropriately, and it's going to be durable for a really long time.
Really long time. That's a good thing. And predominantly with the modern day vinyl flooring, it's a wood look product. What if I want a marble look or another look?
So there are products like Core-Tec that they even make 18 by 18 squares that look like tile that are still a click together. So you don't have to go towards that's the majority of what you see out there is people going towards a wood look, but it's not a prerequisite. You can go with different types that even look like ceramic or porcelain tile.
Nice, but predominantly the wood look. I like that. I like that a lot. And is that also suitable for the kitchen and bathroom?
It is. It is. We have lots of customers and even builders who are doing the entire houses in those types of planks and those vinyls. Obviously, if you're going into any kind of wet area or kitchen, you know, we do not recommend a composite laminate, which you were seeing 8-10 years ago. The vinyl is great for the bathroom. You know, we have special transitions from vinyl to tile, to shower areas, showerless curbs, things like that.
So I could choose that same product and take it from the kitchen all the way through the first floor and right on into the baths everywhere.
100%.
So I like that idea a lot. What about on the stairway?
Yep, we make pre-made stair nosing.
Really?
That matches the material. So yep, a little bit different of a system. We go to install it. We typically nail and glue, and then we put the stair nosing in because there's not as much expansion on the stair treads, but everything can match.
I like that a lot. That is really sharp. One last thing that concerns some folks with floating flooring. Traditionally, they have sort of a clickety-clackety hollow sound. How have we transitioned to make it a bit more quiet?
Yep, so a lot of the vinyl planks that we deal with come with whisper pads that are already attached, which is usually a cork and a styrofoam backing. Now, the more you spin, the thicker you can go with the padding, and it's going to give you more of a cushion. It's not going to sound hollow. It's not going to sound like a traditional laminate floor. You know, I always have to have a moisture barrier under that. We always put a moisture barrier in with that actual sound deafener, if you will. It's going to make it feel like a real wood floor.
Well, I have a real-time need. I'm going to be getting a hold of you. What is the best way to get a hold of you, Chris?
Well, any of our customers can reach us at 904-731-6471 or visit us at www.protileandmarble.com. You can also visit us on Facebook as well.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank Chris, and I'll be checking back with you in a couple of weeks once that install's done to share with you how happy I truly am. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome to the NEPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The NEPA Home and Garden Show is brought to you by NEPA, featuring the finest builders, remodelers, contractors, lenders, and vendors anywhere in Florida. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Joining us on the show today from Nations Lending is Andrew Cady. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Wally.
Well, I've got to express gratitude to you to begin with for all the great things you do for veterans here in Northeast Florida. Very, very grateful. Getting veterans in housing is critically important to our area, to our country, and certainly to those individual veterans.
Absolutely.
Give me some insight. What are the special challenges that a veteran may face in buying their first home?
You know, really, the special challenges that we see veterans face are a lot of undue challenges just from a stigma that's out there about VA loans. There's a lot of stigma out there that a VA loan is more difficult to obtain, that the appraisers are more picky per se, or that the seller may be on the hook for additional fees, when that's just simply not the case. The appraisers we see for VA loans are going to be the same appraisers that are oftentimes doing it for conventional loans. It's not a separate pool of appraisers. For instance, in the state of Florida, there's a lot of controversy that goes back and forth of whether the seller is on the hook for the WDO, the pest inspection for the property, when in fact there's a state deviation list the VA puts out specifically for the state of Florida that allows the veteran to pay it because it's required in every house. That
comes up a lot. You know, I've dealt with that myself. Help me understand that. It's not the VA loan that's the challenge in getting the veteran into their next home. The challenge is assuring that the loan officer is familiar with the product line. How is it that you have gained such great experience to simplify this process, not only for the veteran, but also for their real estate agent and the seller or builder?
You know, for me, when I joined the mortgage industry, I somewhat joined it out of frustration at how difficult my own home buying process had become. And so when I got into it, my whole aim for my business model is to provide just beyond exemplary communication from point 1 to point 10 or wherever we end up at.
To all participants in the transaction.
To all participants, whether you're the buyer's agent, the listing agent, or the buyers. Any party involved in the transaction should be very openly communicated with by the lender. And that's unfortunately something we don't see very often in the mortgage business.
Knowing that you're passionate about the VA lending and supporting veterans, what is it that brought you to that passion position?
You know, for me, I saw a lot of issues with veterans getting financing here. Obviously, Jacksonville, Florida, is one of the top 3 locations in the country for active duty and veteran concentration. 12 out of every 100 people you'll meet here have served the country. Staggering high number. So a huge opportunity for someone to step in and help with it. I also teamed up with the local chapter of VA Rep. The Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals, and a national organization called the Military Mortgage Boot Camp. And between those 2 programs and really just a desire to learn the VA guidelines inside out and upside down, I just began to develop a real passion to not only just help our veterans, but really become a veteran advocate in the home buying process.
So Andrew, for a veteran or a real estate agent interested in supporting veterans, or even a builder who's looking to attract more veterans to their properties, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of me would be just dial me. My telephone number is 904-500-EPIC, or I'll give my cell phone number out. For me, I don't mind people calling me and asking me questions about VA home loans. Call my cell phone directly, 386-466-5557.
I'd like to thank you for that. I'd like to thank Andrew Cady from Nations Lending for being with us today on Home and Garden TV. For Home and Garden TV, I'm Wally Conway. It's not the fire in the fireplace that damages your chimney, it's the moisture. That's why the Chimney Safety Institute of America recommends an annual cleaning and inspection of your fireplace, regardless of how often you use it. The chimney technicians at Chimney Champions clean your chimney, then use the ChimScan video system to do a complete inspection of your system to ensure your home is safe. You can trust Chimney Champions to clean and inspect your chimney. Call 268-7200 or visit chimneychampions.com. Welcome back to the show. You know, so often we have things around our home. There are treasures in one sense, but it's time to free ourselves of all of those things. It could be a handful of things, could be an entire home full of things. When it's time for your treasures to go away, you may need a little help. Thankfully, there's Anita Portnoy of Anitas Antiques and Estate Sales. Anita, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, I think it's fantastic that you are finding homes for people's treasures. You know, I've been a collector all my life. I've got lots and lots of things, and I'm thinking about moving on board a boat. And my things are too valuable to head to the trash. They are, in fact, treasure. And at the same time, I really don't want to spend the time to put them all on eBay or do that myself. How can you help me to turn my treasures into cash?
Well, I specialize in liquidating items for people, so various antiques, collectibles, home goods, all of that there. I find an easy way for my clients to turn that stuff into cash.
So give me let me tell you my own story.
Okay.
I have a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I'm not ready to release myself of the house. Would you typically host an event at my home, or would it be better to take those things away?
Yes, usually the estate sales are going to be hosted at a private home, and we do everything from setting up and staging, research and pricing all the items. Good. To make sure that you get top value for each piece, and we handle all of that there for the client and make it just a stress-free process. Stress-free
is good.
Yes.
So when I'm selling antiques or other collectibles, it's so important to get proper dollar. It takes the right person being exposed to it. How do you help me assure that I'm getting the traffic, the right kind of traffic, to get top dollar for my things?
Well, we have a good outlet system for our marketing. We have maximum exposure for the pieces. I advertise worldwide for pieces to attract collectors for certain items. So really that's important when you're trying to get top dollar for your items.
So as you're inventorying my home and seeing what's there, you pretty well work a list of, well, this person collects weight, and I know other people for the silver, so you work to get the right people rather than just a horde of people tromping through my house. We try to trim that down to get the real value add.
Absolutely.
What is let me ask you this. Have you ever been invited to a home to inventory the things in preparation for sale and gone, oh my gracious, it's a Renoir, and the person didn't even know? You ever had one of those discovery moments to find something that the person didn't even realize it had such great value?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. And they're sometimes just as shocked as I am, and they're usually very grateful that I was able to come along and show them the value of their pieces, because not all the time do people understand some of the value that they have in their home.
What does it feel like when a person they're in love with a piece, and they may even have paid thousands of dollars for it, and you are the bearer of the news that it truly has very little value or even a reproduction? How does that conversation go?
Well, Sometimes that does happen. You know, antiques are kind of like the real estate market. The market can fluctuate sometimes. Certain items, depending upon how many collectors are out there looking for that specific piece, are going to mark up or mark down the price.
Sure.
So, for instance, crystal right now, you know, is not very valuable out there unless you have a very unique piece of cut crystal.
More good news, I have a Lana Waterford that I wanted to be rid of. It's good to find out it no longer has value. So what is the best way to get a hold of you for people who would like to learn more and prepare to eliminate some of the treasures from their home?
All right, okay, so you can find me at anitasantiques.net.
I'd like to thank Anita for being with us, and I will have less clutter in my home the next time we speak. We'll be right back. When buying a home, the scary part is what you can't see. That's why the certified inspection experts at Home Pro Inspections use advanced thermal imaging cameras to see the invisible, like moisture in walls, hot electric wires, and missing insulation. And for your protection after the inspection, Home Pro Inspection includes a free 90-day warranty protection against system failures, sewer line failure, and the appearance of mold. That's peace of mind. Call Home Pro Inspections at 268-8211 or visit GoHomePro.com. Welcome back to the show. So imagine this. You've found the perfect new home or the perfect pre-existing home. You move in and you've got some empty space. What do you typically fill that with? Furniture. Where do you typically get furniture? No place good more often than not. Wouldn't it be a delight if you could find furniture truly made of wood, truly made in Jacksonville, that was affordable? That would be the holy grail to furnish your home. Thankfully, there is such an opportunity here in Jacksonville from my friends at Glodea. Dan, Ignacia, welcome to the show. I am so curious, Dan Miller from Glodea, what causes an entrepreneur and a visionary to suddenly get this brainstorm to have a furniture fabrication facility in Jacksonville, Florida?
Well, actually, it started with Ignacio Santos. Ignacio moved here about 10 years ago, and that's when Glodea started. And he started making this furniture. He's a world-renowned designer. And he started making this furniture in a friend's garage and started making some chairs and things like that, started selling them, and then one thing led to another, and pretty soon it evolved into a Glodea corporation. And furniture is one piece of the corporation. Now, the furniture is made here in Jacksonville, as you said earlier. It's made from wood that's harvested in Alabama, so it's all USA, if you will, and brought into our factory. We take that wood, we convert it in our automated equipment into different pieces of furniture, like benches, chairs, sideboards, tables, like this out here, and convert it into furniture. We ship actually all over the world, but mostly in the U.S., Canada, and Europe is where we ship today.
What I find intriguing, Ignacia, about your brain, you've been able to create things that are beautiful, they're durable, they're affordable, and it's all local. What is the secret sauce that has enabled you to do that right here for us in Jacksonville?
Yeah, the first challenge when you create a product, it's compete with overseas business. Now, overseas business, they have very low labor cost. And then when you create the product, we figured out to create something we can replicate faster and combine with our whole materials to create with the semi-whole material. We have 5 whole materials. We have 13 products with the semi-whole material. And then today, all this process we create from design, process, and manufacture. We have 4,000 furnitures delivery every year with 2 employees.
4,000 pieces of furniture, like these beautiful pieces and others similar, all created from your brain and built by 2 people. So a piece of the design, and it's okay to have my feet on the furniture.
Oh, yeah, you can put a car on top. We have a picture. We have a picture with a car on top of the furniture to show how strong it is.
So the secret sauce in the design was it was built to be beautiful and durable and efficient in its production.
Correct.
Minimal waste of time, waste of material.
Yeah, it's 3% waste material. It's impossible. The standard furniture industry is 20%.
So I could buy a table with VOCs in it and particle board and God knows what that comes all the way from China. What advantage is it to me, the buyer of nice, beautiful furniture, to drive over to Glodea and put this baby in my car and take it home? What is the savings I can experience because I'm here local and I know you, rather than someone who shopped online from around the world getting your stuff?
Any customer around the world, USA, if they buy our product, after 1 year, they can replace their product from 50% off. And Jacksonville, anyone can walk to our warehouse, they can buy for 50% the first time.
Wow. I like that.
It's a deal. It's a great deal for the local community.
It's all local. That's as green as you can be. Go there and meet the folks that designed it, folks that built it. For people that would like to learn more, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of us is glodea.com. That's our website. It's got all the furniture on there, and you can see the different samples. We have 24 colors, decor colors, so we can match about any decor you have.
I am grateful to have you guys with us. You know, I enjoy you both and what you've done, what you've created business-wise here in town, the beautiful furniture you're doing from people's homes. I'm just really grateful that you're sharing it with us in the studio. I'm also grateful to have something in the studio I could put my feet on and not be worried about I did damage to it or it tipped over. That's a beautiful thing.
Not unless you weigh what a car does. That won't hurt you. Yeah.
I'd like to thank the folks from Glodea for being here with us. It truly is worthy of the visit to glodea.com. Pick it out and then make the arrangement to pick it up and get it at half price. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. You know, so often when you're in that home search, you find a neighborhood you love, a house that you love, but something in the house isn't quite right, and you think, by gracious, if I could buy this home and renovate this home all in the same loan, I would be in my dream home. Thankfully, there are ways to do that, the renovation loan process, and it is dependent on having a great consultant and a great builder. Thankfully, we've got Michael Munn with us here today from Homecore Builders. Welcome, Michael.
Thanks, Wally. Good to
so
see you.
the renovation loan product, we've had folks on with us here before talking on the lending side, but I really wanted to get some insight from the contractor side / consultant side.
Sure.
Why is it so important that when you're choosing a renovation contractor for a renovation loan program that they are experienced in the program?
Absolutely, because it's different than just doing a little one-off project. First of all, the timing of getting the estimate and the scope of work established is very much compressed. You know, we've got closing dates, we've got other things that we're tracking against. So you have to have somebody that knows their numbers and has experience, especially in the type of home that you're doing. If we're doing a historical reno in Springfield, things are different than a 1987 home built in Mandarin, you know, and so you have to have in your back pocket the numbers and the scope and know what's behind the walls or what you're dealing with and be able to turn around and communicate that in a scope of work document that meets the renovation loan requirements. It's not just, you can't have a scribble scrabble piece of yellow paper that, you know, that has a number on the bottom. There are formats that have to be followed. And so somebody that's worked in the program before has to walk in the door with that expectation. And not for nothing, you got to have financial stability. That's the biggest thing, because you don't get any money till you do some work, right? It's not write me a check and then I'll come work. It's I'm going to come work and then get a check. So you have to have a company that's financially stable to produce some work before getting paid, and that can also manage the volume of it.
Right. So often builders get involved. The program looks exciting, it looks lucrative, and they don't understand how the money flows.
Correct.
They don't understand the money formatics of
right.
how to get those specs and all written, and it is very, very frustrating. And who loses is
the
the
homeowner.
customer. Talk to me about the relationship between the renovation contractor and the renovation consultant and why that's got to work seamlessly to support the customer.
It really does. And of course, we wear both of those hats. There's some situations where the client or the lender will come to us to be the consultant and there's already a contractor established. And in that situation, we have a great rapport because they understand that we are their peers. We can speak in their language and we actually help. You know, at the end of the day, we want the project to finish successfully. So it makes no sense to set the contractor up for failure.
Right.
As the consultant, if we see something that he may not have identified yet, we're going to say, hey, what about this? When you open this up, you're going to find that. Let's account for that in our scope of work and in our budget so that we're not being surprised later. And we have to be able to have that give and take in a three-way conversation because it's you're trying to describe something that's happening in the future in writing before you have plans, before you have a fully crystallized scope. And so everybody has to understand in the beginning, it really is a team between the consultant, contractor, and the home buyer have got to be on the same page and stay on the same page. And that's the challenge. So whether we're the contractor working with that consultant, he helps set those expectations with the buyer, but then vice versa. When we're the consultant, we want to make sure that everybody's happy at the end of the day. Contractor's finished in a timely fashion, made a few dollars, homeowner got what they expected, project's finished, and of course the lender's happy now too because now they're getting mortgage payments.
And the lender needs to be familiar with the program also.
Right.
I've watched lenders, that are wonderful lenders, not familiar with renovation loan programs, and it becomes a nightmare.
Right. It's important to work with somebody who specializes in that product, and you'd be surprised some of the big name banks are not the ones that are the best at it.
Right.
It is a different kind of a vehicle, and we get partway through it. And if that front side paperwork and documentation hasn't happened right, the lenders even throw up their hands, and they really are the fourth partner in the property. You know, they have to be happy too that at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, their assets are protected. You know, and so. Right.
What is the best way to get a hold of you, Michael, for people who'd like to learn more?
Check out our website. We kind of really just launched a new one, homecorebuilders.com, HOMECORE builders.com, and you can reach out to us from there, and we'd love to take care of you as a consultant or as a contractor.
Excellent. It's important to remember when you're involved in a renovation project, particularly if it's related to purchase, that the lender, the consultant, and the contractor are all familiar and ideally have a great working relationship together. We'll be right back. Big event or party at your home or business? The Jacksonville Party Company. Stress-free, flawless, and memorable. Whether it's for children, a retirement, a wedding, or other social or professional activity, it's stress-free, flawless, and memorable when you involve the Jacksonville Party Company. Contact them today to get your event launched at jacksonvillepartycompany.com. Well, we did have some wonderful guests today to share with you. Grateful that you've shared the time with us. Looking forward to being with you again real soon. Have a beautiful day.